Yeah, yeah.
Was it? What?
Good crowd. I went Friday night.
Welcome everyone to the committee meetings for Monday. May 1st. And we're going to start off with Health Services Committee. Chairwoman Tamil is not here. Legislator Davis take the reins.
All right, good evening, everyone. I'd like to open Health Services at 6:01. We have 9 resolutions, so I'll go right into it. Number 1 is a resolution urging New York State to enact the Rescue EMS package of legislation to strengthen our emergency medical services.
Over.
True.
True.
Second, Lennon.
Committee, second?
Yeah.
All commission
Yes, please.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, number 2, authorizing agreement, Greene County Mental Health Center with Caro Durham Central School.
Lennon.
True.
Lennon and Hobart.
No,
All in
give it to
favor?
True.
True.
Lennon, True.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Number 3, authorizing agreement, Greene County Mental Health Center with Cooksaki Athens Central School District.
Over.
Hobart. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Number 4, authorizing agreement, Greene County Mental Health Center with Hunter Tannersville Central School District.
Linger.
Lucas.
Linger and Lucas, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Number 5, authorizing agreement, Greene County Mental Health with Wyndham Ashland Jewett Central School District. Vera?
Lennon.
Vera and Lennon, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Number 6, amending resolution 133-24, approving related service provider contract preschool special education program.
True.
Here and True, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Number 7, amending resolution 91-24, appointing members of the Greene County Public Health Department Medical Professional Advisory Committee. Boomer, I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Number 8, amending resolution 91-24, appointing members of the Greene County Public Health Department Medical Professional Advisory Committee.
Linger.
Linger, Davis. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Number 9, budget amendment, Greene County Mental Health, OMH-ARPA, Children's Workforce Block Grant and Federal Salary Sharing.
Over.
And I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Is anyone opposed? Okay, does anybody have anything to come before Health Services?
Jason, are you gonna be here a little bit, or are you leaving right after this?
Stay, do whatever you like.
Okay, I've got a property in Baltimore, it's for sale right now that may work for that, Oxford House.
Okay.
I don't know if you have a connection there, that you can check it out, but I'll get the.
Do you want me to stick around? You want me to stick around then?
Just a minute.
Sure.
Okay. I need a motion to close.
Motion to close.
Thank you.
Who was my second? Thank you.
All set, Tammy, thank you. I'd like to call County Resources to order at 6:06 PM. We have 2 action items to go through tonight. And then lastly, an informational item. Begin with the resolutions. 1, resolution calling on the governor and legislature to support community colleges, urging them to develop an equitable county chargeback formula and urging them to take over the cost of health insurance for community colleges as they do for 4-year SUNY schools. I need a motion.
Overbaugh.
Overbaugh, second. Rivera and Linger. Any discussion on that? Sean, how much does that cost the county as sponsors on
Well,
health insurance
so the
part?
two
Is
things-
that broken up?
The first thing it has to do with when students go to different community colleges, there's the amount that each college pays each other. There's no uniformity to it. That's why they're asking for the equity. Some colleges will lose money by taking an inbound student. So they're looking for some equity of everybody receiving the same transfer amount. The second amount, so with the community college being responsible now for all employees' healthcare, I don't have a FTE count on what that would be for the college, but the inequity here is why would the state pay for that cost for 4-year colleges and not for the community college? I mean, it just seems so unfair to place that extra burden on counties who really paid up to 50% of the value of the cost of operations of the community college, depending on which community college you're talking about. So, will this go anywhere with the state? I don't know. But certainly the equity one should be easier of the two. But again, why is a community college, second class citizen?
Has there already been some type of formula presented to the committee up there on education?
I don't,
SUNY?
that I don't know. I'm gonna assume no.
Okay.
Whether or not the equity gets averaged, something like that, so that everybody gets the same or pays the same, depending upon which way the student is moving.
Right.
Well, then you have that Fashion Institute down in New York City, that's a huge chargeback.
That's an interesting case. I have a couple of counties that prorate amounts when one of their kids goes to that FIT, which is a 4-year school. That's how the community college is full 4-year school.
It's assuming
everything. They only pay.
That doesn't.
Yes, but it's the only. So I have a couple of counties that will prorate how much they pay to FIT based upon community college rates, not the full 4-year rate.
Right.
And FIT has been threatening litigation for the longest time. They haven't pursued it yet. I won't get into the legality. Maybe Ed can opine on that at some point, but it's a lot of money.
Yeah, I know.
We've had 2 or 3 students
Yes, we have.
who go there.
Right.
Livingston County started that pro rata a number of years ago. They haven't paid the full rate for 10 years.
Anything else? All in favor on this one?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Second one's appointing member to the Board of Directors of the Soil Conservation District. Lennon. And
Overbaugh.
Overbaugh and Lucas. Any discussion on this? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. And lastly was that informational item on the amount we're doing with the Altamont Fair, just for your reading. I know it's supposed to be a Greene County fair, but really, we've never really been involved in it in many ways at all. So, and I think, last several years, it's only been $2,500.
Well, actually, for a couple of years, there was no payment at all because they never reached out to us. It kind of fell through the cracks. So we have added this back into the appropriation levels. But I've also asked for an accounting at the end of the fair as well, just to see what the overall condition of the fair is, what their overall fees are for rentals. We started the fair. I've been to a number of times. It's a very nice fair.
Okay.
We do get credit for being part of it. Sure.
So on the other fair, which is our youth fair, any headway on the Butler type building? Maybe getting to, or?
We have just executed a contract with the surveyor to do the delineation of land, the setbacks on the property lines. I should have that in another month.
Okay.
And then we did get bids. Be careful with that. We got some cursory responses as to construction costs, so I'm not sure if I have to break that up for concrete, electrical, and then the barn itself. But I don't think it'll be up for the fair.
Okay.
But certainly by the end of the season, it should be up and be able to, they should be able to transfer all the stored materials from around the county into one house.
Thank you, Sean. Anything else to come before county resources?
Well, just I saw the college was having the nurses.
Graduation, yes.
What about their regular commencement?
No, that's May 11th.
May 11th. Because the previous president used to send us a letter, you know, inviting us if we wanted to attend.
That's true.
Yeah, I just got the one on the nurses. I didn't get one on the nurses graduation.
May 11th is their commencement. Next Saturday.
Unless it's disrupted by protests and rioters.
You're right.
Hey, Sean, can I say one thing about the Butler building?
Sure.
We just want to make sure, and I know we talked about this, but I want to make sure it's in the plans, that overhead door on that new building is
Right, tall enough.
taller than the one they have now, because they can't get their loader in there to load things.
Yeah, is there a standard, it's a 14 foot, is there a standard that?
Yeah,
I think it's 14, yeah.
And what about the width?
They probably should do a 12 foot wide or 14 foot wide. I do a 14 by 14.
14?
Yeah, we definitely we gotta make sure that happens.
You're gonna be maneuvering equipment in and out of that look like,
Yeah.
otherwise somebody's gonna hit it.
Yeah, they can't get it in, they can't do it with the old building, so they want to make sure this one.
It's probably gonna be multiple people that will hit it.
Would I need bollards as well at the entry point?
I don't know about that. Wouldn't be a bad idea because you can
They don't
never
cost
tell on
anything.
that.
You never know, right?
They don't cost anything
They
for
don't
them.
cost that.
Those is a piece of steel with concrete.
So what, I don't have dimensions yet, but you're probably looking at a 40-60 or something like that.
Yeah.
2 doors and then a pedestrian door, something like that.
Yep. Couple windows.
Skylight, just glass or plastic.
Those guys.
Skylights,
Those
two
guys
windows on the
are
side.
waiting to happen.
And that will have.
Maybe look to see attic trusses so they can store stuff up in the trusses if they need to, that it supports some storage.
They do that now with the one that's down there.
Do they?
No, make sure they have all this.
And then Daryl mentioned that the piping for future plumbing, if there was
Right.
gonna be consideration for that. Put a corner, it's gonna be a bathroom.
Just leave it.
Yeah.
Just leave it.
Yeah,
All right, motion to close.
I motion to close.
Overboard. Dorrington, we are closed. Thank you, everybody.
Good evening, everybody. I'd like to open the Public Safety Committee up at 6:14 PM. Tonight we have with us for his report Sheriff Kosminski.
Good evening, everybody. All right, last month we made 25 civil attempts, served 14 civil papers, issued 185 traffic tickets, investigated 23 traffic accidents, made 41 arrests and 2 DWI arrests. And we handled 506 calls for service. We also made 304 traffic stops. On April 1st, the starting jail population was 30. As of April 30th, it was 24, the high for the month being 35. Corrections officers did 24 transports, traveling 1,333 miles, totaling 48 hours, moving 29 inmates. And we have 1 state-ready inmate in our custody. Last month, we hosted the annual judges dinner on April 18th at the jail, and we had 24 people attend. There were 16 judges present, and 8 of their clerks were also present. We had 1 new part-time deputy, Stephen Pence, graduate from phase 1 of the Columbia Greene Community College Police Basic Training Program. And Deputy Pence addressed the attendees as he was the class leader. We also had 1 full-time corrections officer, Joshua Camacho, graduate from the Corrections Academy In Ulster County, Officer Camacho also earned the Top Shot Award for his outstanding achievements during his firearms portion of the academy. Last month, we lost one of our retired canines. Canine Haddock passed away from a medical issue with his partner, investigator Chris Danko, by his side. Havoc was 8 years old, and during his years of service with us, he participated in numerous searches, apprehensions, recoveries, and community events. So we miss Havoc. Lastly, we are still actively engaged in several long-term drug investigations throughout the county.
Perfect. Anything on the range, Sean? Down by the garage?
I've been talking to Warren and Sean about that.
I think there was initial confusion last month. I think we squared that confusion away. I think it is a possible site now. But I haven't gone as far as get any kind of estimates or any kind of site plan. But there's a hollow there, so it kind of was a natural location.
Do you happen to have any money in youth programs and for training on shooting or, gun retailing? Did you have any?
Specifically, or?
Yes, because Hunter Tannersville and Wyndham Ashland is putting together a trap shooting team. They're gonna go around through with other schools, and it's gonna be a sport like track or basketball.
Actually, I think we sponsored.
Cooksaki Athens has one, been there for years.
Yeah,
Greenville also.
if you have them send me something, we'll set something up.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, great.
I don't know if anybody was there, or if you've even seen on YouTube, the Erie County audit group. There's a gentleman that goes around and goes into various public buildings and tries to get those gotcha moments, people violating First Amendment rights and things like that. He showed up here unannounced. Spent about 45 minutes in the building and was actually had very good reports for Greene County in a way that all of our employees handled their responsibilities here in the building. So I know he specifically mentioned Deputy Dio down in the office downstairs.
Yeah, if you get a chance to watch it, it's actually kind of comical. So.
It is about 45 minutes long. You can watch the whole thing. But good job on everybody here.
But who is this guy though? What gives him any credence to go around and?
That's what they do.
There's several groups that's all they do is go around and try to incite somebody to do something that violates their.
Their goal is to annoy people and get them to take physical action against them.
They often lead to litigation,
Where's the video?
and then when they upload these things to TikTok and whatever, when they get everybody to watch it, they get money for all that kind of stuff. It's a cottage industry is what it is.
Unbelievable.
If you look up Erie County auditors, it'll come up.
But Deputy Dio did a great job. So.
It's like the one wing nut.
The homework
Not too
governor.
long ago, right? He was going with the police, like, whatever, staying in a camper out off 51 or something, and then he was all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
And last time I checked the other day, that it was like 42,000 hits that it had.
We got numerous calls as the county.
Yeah, some of the surrounding counties did not have as good a reception. And it was really, to say it was a teaching moment for some of the other colleges is probably the understatement, because they were basically shown the door, which is exactly what they wanted to have. Because then they light up the world and they have everybody in their alliance call the county office buildings and complaints. I understand Albany County office building, you couldn't get in like 2 days because everyone was just bombarding the switchboard with calls and complaints. And that's just exactly what they wanted. So we've had numerous discussions with our staff about be polite. Yes, they may not be nice people, or they might have alternative motives, but
Also, if they're not polite, hang up on it.
well, yes, that we had people who had foul language. I have told staff, hang up, don't put up with that. But when they come in the building, they have certain rights. They can walk in the hallways, they can, but if you'll notice, many of our offices now have signs internal to the office that no one beyond this point. And they respected that line. they went to it, they stopped and they pulled back and, but Deputy Dio did an outstanding job. And a couple of the other staff members who are very much plain and are now on this TikTok video, this 45 minutes. You know, they sucked it up. They got through it. I can
Pretty much once they realize that you're not gonna fall into their trap, they're moving.
Yeah.
It worked out. Well,
That's- They're looking for the guy.
And at some point, we'll see, I did negotiate a deal with Ulster County, sheriff, they'll buy their vote.
I was gonna say
Last
about
year.
that.
Yeah, we believe there is some paperwork forthcoming for it, so that we could purchase that boat to get us through until we're able to secure a new one.
Like, can't water ski behind the one you got now.
Can't even finish.
I'd like to see somebody.
That's why I had to wait till after driver season.
You wanna try?
I'm always up for a good challenge.
All right. Thank
Sheriff, we also the 911 center, we have Dan King.
Yes, we'll be there.
Okay.
Good evening. I do not have the April facts and figures for you. We just went in on that. Because it's only May 1st, we didn't have it ready. So, but a few things to note. On April 23rd, in the dispatch center, we started utilizing emergency police dispatch protocols, emergency fire dispatch protocols. We've been doing the medical protocols for quite some time. So it's a change in operations, and then we talked about it before, but it standardizes the way the call takers interview callers for police and fire calls, and really follows the national standard. So a few little hiccups, but it's overall going really well. So it's a nice system. It also assigns a priority to calls for the fire and law enforcement, more so on the fire. Law enforcement has 2 categories. Fire, I think, has 6 priorities of types of calls. Now, how they actually respond is still up to the individual agencies, but we do provide that information now.
Dan, would that protocol be this first step in accreditation?
Yes, this is one of the steps working towards accreditation of the 911 center. A couple notes coming up in May. We're hosting disability awareness training, 2 different days. One is for 911 dispatchers when they're interviewing people with disabilities. It's a very specific training. And the second day is actually all other emergency response personnel. We do have encounters with a lot more people with various disabilities, so we're concentrating on the training aspect there. We're also kicking off, having a planning kickoff meeting for the next 2 emergency plans. I know I told you several times, we have a long list of plans that we have to get through to get caught up on. So we'll be doing the public information and warning plan and the critical infrastructure and priority restoration plan. So we will start that process in May and hopefully to wrap that up August or September. On the communications front, we have a lot going on. So we're getting equipment for the Durham site, the Durham Tower site, to make that a full site. So that currently it's only a paging only site, and we do have coverage issues in East Durham, Oak Hill, and Norton Hill. And by adding the fire response, EMS response, and the 2 law channels to that site, will significantly improve the coverage in that area.
Is that the action item on the agenda tonight?
That is what's on the agenda.
How old is the Durham Tower?
The Durham Tower was built in 2017. It's on Allen-Teeter Road. It's on Allen-Teeter's field, go up to the field.
So the next question is, when you have to upgrade with new technologies, new equipment here like this, is that the norm, 7, 8 years? And then you gotta redo
No,
it?
This was not originally put in.
Yeah, this was not here first.
It's being repurposed,
This equipment.
right?
It's being expanded, not replaced.
No,
Okay.
repurposed. I said.
No, it's just we're adding.
No, we're adding.
This
Right,
is just
so you're
adding what
making
you
it
have.
do more.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, so the life cycle that you started
Yeah.
with, now this isn't a life cycle issue.
Okay.
No, when we only put the paging transmitter at that site initially because mapping showed that the other sites would be covering this area. However, real world has proved The only site that actually covers that is coming off High Hill in Cooksaki. So, which is kind of a long run for radio transmission to cover there. The paging works great, so by adding these transmitters there, will improve coverage significantly. Also, with what we're doing in communications, we're adding equipment to all the sites to repeat the fire response channel. Currently, the EMS and the 2 law channels are repeated, meaning when a unit keys up, it's repeated off every tower site. Everyone can hear across the county what's going on. Fire was not originally set up that way. So now we're going back and adding the equipment to do that, to improve the communications on the fire channels. We're working on equipment for the backup center, and we're working on equipment, microwave connections between the tower sites. So all those things are in process.
Dan, the funding on the upgrades to the tower site, is that grant only or?
This is all grant funding. Yep. All interrupt grant funds. Yes?
How about staffing? How are we doing with dispatchers?
So we just had somebody come off
Okay.
training, so now they're full-fledged, they have got to be guarded, if you will, so they're fully staffed now. We have
One in training right
we
now,
have another one in training.
and then another one that starts next Monday.
And how long was the training? Somebody was just asking me about this, maybe 2 weeks.
Roughly 6 to 8 months. It varies on how.
Before they're on their own?
Well, they're not on their own until after, but after they get through the training modules where they're sitting side by side with someone. So they have these various modules that they go through. So it depends on how fast they clear the objectives, their learning objectives in the modules. Yes,
Just to finish that, I do believe we still have vacancy, FTE.
oh, yes,
vacancies.
absolutely.
So if you have anybody who's interested, it's.
Yes,
it is-
2 or 3, after this other guy who starts Monday, I think there's 2 or 3 more slots we still need to fill.
Full-time or
Full-time.
We have 16 authorized full-timers, and we have 4 TTEs, I think we have 2 per diem as well. So I would like to get that 16 filled as fast as we can. But granted, to pick up on Tom's question, there is a lot of investment, personal investment that you have to go through in order to become a full-fledged dispatcher. In addition to the training before you're released on your own, there's also 7 individual certifications that they must maintain throughout their career. So it's quite involved, and you go from a barking dog to a heart attack, all within 5 minutes. So it can be a very stressful job. And I want to thank Harry. Who else was there last week? We stopped in. Sherry was there, because it was National
Dispatcher week.
Dispatcher Awareness Week or something like that. So we stopped in and said, hey. So yeah, they can have some high pressure situations, followed by sheer boredom.
What's the pay?
What's that?
What's the pay?
I have no idea off the top of my head.
The pay,
Yeah,
you might know.
can't,
But
starting, it depends on your credential, because there's a trainee slot, then there's a dispatcher slot, there's a senior dispatcher, then there's a chief, so it depends, but it's in 60,000. For start, yeah. Well, trainee maybe not,
Right.
as a full-fledged dispatcher and full benefits.
Thank you.
Important job.
Sean, do you have anything? Or as EMS or any?
Well, the study's continuing,
Yeah,
I think it's gonna touch more on
The
that.
study is continuing. We're a little bit behind schedule. Some of the agencies are just slow in getting information to the consultants, but the consultants have, rather than doing this as a large Zoom call every Friday, they're now doing individual calls to try to pull the information out of it. But we are getting closer. They are making a visit in May. They will be meeting with town supervisors and representatives of each of the agencies themselves. I'm trying to get a lot of focus now on budgets, but, payroll issues and that kind of stuff, as well as fleet conditions as well. So I'm trying to make this as comprehensive as possible for not only a final report, but 1, 2, 3, 10 recommendations of what we could move to or change, in addition to the resolution that we had tonight that would make some improvements statewide to the EMT, EMS system, which would help with recruitment and organization. So I don't understand why those bills, they seem to have absolute unanimous support, and they just got swept away from the budget process. It made no sense whatsoever. I was very disappointed. They only go to June 2nd this year, so we're almost down to 31 days because we're retired for the season. So I'm hoping they get some of those bills passed. There's bipartisan support. I just don't understand why it did not get through the budget. It didn't have a lot of impact, financial impact to the state. It was more local. And a lot of those bills are crucial for us to make some true improvements of our ambulatory system. And I'll say it, I've said it once, I've said it 100 times, when you don't have a hospital in your county, you better have a good ambulance system.
Should we send a letter or something saying that, why wasn't this approved? Here's the reasons why we feel it should be approved.
Yeah, well, your resolution tonight is one that I've had NISAC draft. I have all 57 counties sending this out this month.
And the municipalities, as far as the research and these guys making their phone calls or cooperating as far as the different towns that have.
Yeah, well, remember, a lot of the agencies, a lot of the agencies have, they're part-timers, it's hard to get a hold of them 9 to 5.
Right.
But the consultants have assured me that they'll babysit them and they'll get the data prior to their physical visit this month.
Okay.
So hopefully all the data will be in by then.
And if they're done June 2nd, then we should know anything coming from the session.
Yes, yeah,
That will affect
the session,
any action.
the state legislature's last day is June 2nd, and I'm hoping these bills that we just passed the resolution on, all of them go through, if not the majority.
Okay. All right, on to our one proposed action item. Authorizing the purchase of radio equipment for Durham Tower site.
Davis.
And Dorrington seconds it. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Anything else to come before Public Safety Committee?
No, but I do have a need for executive session.
Executive session?
Yes.
I need a motion to go into executive session regarding real estate.
Davis.
Full part.
Davis,